Hello friends, welcome back. This is Dawn. I know it's been a minute and that is a long story. Some of you know, some of you don't, but I will explain that here in a future video. I didn't leave you voluntarily, but like I said, am back now. And I am back with some new product with Pinkfresh Studio. We've teamed up to bring you another watercolor washi tape suite. And I've done several of these in the past with Pinkfresh, so if you've been around, you've seen these before. But if you're new here, let me show you how these work. So you have this washi tape roll full of these beautiful watercolored floral motifs with a gorgeous high shine gold foil detail. And this is one full run of the pattern, and it's repeated over 40 times in that roll of washi. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. So you just adhere a piece here to white cardstock, use the coordinating dies to cut it out, and you've got a bunch of already painted, already assembled little floral motifs here that you can use on any card. Super quick and easy and gorgeous results every time. But like I mentioned, this is a suite of products. So there is also a stamp set available that is going to give you the same floral motifs as are present in the washi tape, but here you can either color them yourself, so you can pick your own color scheme, or you can use the available stencils to color it. And just like with the washi tape, you would use the dies there to cut these out. So let me show you a couple of cards that I created using the stamps and the stencils this time. All right, so we're going to use every single element in this set, and we're going to create 3 cards. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp and heat emboss this image in white on white cardstock. I know I haven't done this technique in a really long time, but I just stamped it in a clear sticky ink, put the white embossing powder on, and now I'm melting that with my heat tool. This is going to give me a white on white outline of the design here. And then I'm going to use the stencils to add my color. Now I wanted to give this more of a watercolory look, but with stencils. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I felt like the white outline would be a little softer, a little more ethereal than using, say, a black outline or even a brown outline. So the stamp and the die are broken into two panels. And they'll stamp half of it all at once and the other half all at once. So that's what I've done here. I've done 2 panels. I've stamped one stamp on one and the second stamp on the other, and we're going to stencil these at the same time, just going back and forth. I've started with the 1/4 inch brush here and sparkling rose ink, and you'll notice that I'm not filling this in completely. I'm going very soft. I'm starting like on one edge and then letting it fade out to nothing on the other side, or starting heavy in the center and letting it fade out towards the edges. I want to give that watercolor-like look, so I'm going with the heavier, softer application of the ink and in a very uneven manner. Now I'm coming in and adding a little bit here and there with the begonia. This is just going to add that little bit of darker color here and there, but again, I'm not doing a solid color over the entire opening. Something very light and washy. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to line up the second half of the stencil with the second panel and repeat those same steps. So a little bit of sparkling rose, again, uneven, and then add in a few darker details with that begonia. And I'm going to repeat these same steps with each stencil. So for the second stencil, I'm going to use mint and eucalyptus. And then for the third stencil, I'm going to use citron to kind of put down a light, uneven layer for the base of these flowers. And then I'm going to come in with a smaller detail brush here, the 1/4 inch brush, and add in a little bit more of that heavier citron color. And that's going to give me, again, that look of light and dark, a little washy, a little uneven, just trying to emulate that watercolor look. The next stencil is your detail layer. I'm using bay leaf for this, and just like before, I'm not going to fill in the openings completely flat. I'm going to start in the middle and then just kind of like fade it out toward the edges, and I like to stop and kind of check my work as I go. For the next stencil, we're going to do those centers, and for the yellow flowers, I used eucalyptus and a little bit of lush forest, and then for the pink flowers, I used Spanish moss. All right, the final 2 stencils are going to do the leaves, and I'm going to do a mix of blue-green leaves and then some yellow-green leaves. I'm going to use the same inking technique that I've been using the whole time, a little bit heavier ink here, a little bit lighter ink there. And for that, I used the mint and the lush forest, and then on the other set of leaves, I used the Spanish moss. So now that I'm done, I'm going to kind of look at it and assess if I wanted to add any more color anywhere else. And I decided that I do want to add a little bit of this begonia here and there to the yellow flowers. Again, that's just going to give it more of that watercolory look where the yellow bleeds into the pink or the pink bleeds into the yellow. And this is easy to do by just laying down that previous stencil and then adding a little bit more color. It is subtle, but definitely worth it. So next I used the die to cut out all of my pieces here, and now I have all of these beautiful little floral motifs to create cards with. So I ended up creating 3. For the first one, we're going to use the elegant circles here. I'm going to use the 2 in the center, and we're going to cut those from colored cardstock, but instead of using colored cardstock, I'm going to color it myself using colors from our florals there. So I used the mint to color a piece of cardstock. Then I'll die cut my circle from that, and here I've got this beautiful, elegant little detailed circle. Do the same thing for the pink using the sparkling rose, and then the yellow using the citron. I also die cut the trellis here. This is the trellis cover plate from white cardstock, and we're going to use that to kind of back those circles. We just want to add some texture to our background. So here I'm going to add it in 3 areas, working in a triangle. So I'm lining up the background here and just kind of marking off with a pen where I want to cut this. I'm going to use my scissors to cut it, and then I'm just going to add that to the edge there. Now, like I said, I want to work in a triangle pattern, so I'm going to come over on the left side there, pick out a piece, and then at the top here, we're going to pick out an area and then glue those in place using some liquid adhesive. Anything that's hanging over the edges, I'll use my scissors to just trim off. And now I'll use the circles and the floral arrangements there to create a little triad of design motifs that will kind of lead the eye across the design. I'm going to start with the larger circle at the top. I'll pick out a little arrangement there to put at the top, and then work my way down and across towards the right. I'll arrange those, and then once I've got them in place, I'm going to use press and seal to kind of hold them all together and make it easier for me to adhere. I'm also going to slip my sticky mat there, my grip mat from Altenew, up underneath. And I've started doing this because I can use the grip mat to push the press and seal into. That'll hold the press and seal in place, but it'll also hold my cardstock there in place, so I don't need to use any tape or anything. And then I can create a hinge. That way I can adhere all of my elements in layers more easily, and everything is held in place by that grip mat. Y'all, if you don't have that grip mat, that is one item that I could not live without in my craft room now. Highly recommend, highly recommend. All right, so like I said, I can do these in layers. I can add my adhesive to each layer, close or fold that press and seal down, adhere it in place, pull the press and seal back, add more glue, adhere it in place, pull it back and forth, back and forth. So easy. And this is again, one of those things that I could not live without in my craft room, that press and seal and that grip mat. Now, anything that hangs over the edges, just like before, I'm going to use scissors, trim that off, and then it's time to add my sentiment. So I stamped out the 2 large sentiments included in the set and then heat embossed them in black. I absolutely love these sentiments. They're so out of the ordinary, no pun intended, but they're just everyday sentiments, and they're not your average everyday sentiments. I love them. Giving cards for no reasons is the best. So here you can see I've got all of these leftover pieces from that trellis. I created a design and adhered those to the back or to the front of a colored cardstock. And then I also did a colored version where I colored some of those pieces. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. In the end, I decided that the flowers got lost. There was too much color going on in the background and the flowers were lost. This nice minty background set off those florals nicely. So I used the big wreath and the always in your corner sentiment, adhered that to the center with some foam tape, and then adhered that panel to a card base again with some foam tape. I really like the juxtaposition of that clean geographic background with the more watercolorish looking florals, the softness of those, always a win in my book. For the final card, I colored some strips of cardstock using the inks that we used in our card. I did add in added in Raspberry Bliss and Bubblegum. 2 strips. And then I used the Stitch Edit Heritage Lace dies to die cut those. You can see there now, you can see that bubblegum, that lighter, that mid-tone pink, and that darker pink, the Raspberry Bliss. I added those in, adhered those to a card panel. We're going to do a slimline card, trimmed off the edges, and then used the leftover 4 pieces, those 2 yellow flowers and then 2 green sprigs, and flanked my sentiment with those flowers. And that used every single piece that we colored and cut with our dies. All right, so here are the 3 finished cards. I love the flow of this card, how you've got that triad of floral elements and we've guided the eye right through them. Absolutely beautiful. Finished that off with the iridescent dewdrops. And then on this one, we used the waist from that trellis design here. We created a pattern in the background and then enveloped that sentiment there with the wreath from the set. Absolutely gorgeous, very simple. Again, finished that off with the dewdrops. And then here we just needed these last little flowers. We needed to use those, so we created that beautiful rainbowish background using those lace trim dies, and then just added a little accent to that bold sentiment there using those leftover flowers, and I think that turned out absolutely perfect. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're stuck around, you're still here, you're still subscribed, I do really appreciate it. I will be back soon with another video, and I will update everybody on where I've been and where I'm at. All right, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Remember, all of the supplies are listed and linked in the description box below if you're interested. As always, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.